Hello, Tim Nicolle from Primadollar. Welcome to Open Account and welcome to this brief video interview. Can you start by sharing a little bit more background information about yourself and about your company?
Oh, good afternoon, Eric from Primadollar in London. Primadollar's a couple of years old now. We are specialists in trade finance with already a global footprint. Last week we opened our 10th office and we now span 12 hours of time zones within the company. Principally our focus is helping exporters out of South Asia, which is where we started, and now we're now moving into the Chinese market to help Chinese exports. And we provide a trade finance solution which, although I can't claim to know everything that goes on in the world, is a unique, low-cost, collateral-free way for exporters to offer ship now, pay later terms to their buyers. That means put the goods on the boat, get paid by us, deliver them to the buyer pays us later, and we take the credit risk. And so this is a hybrid product. It's a combination of trade finance, factoring, and supply chain finance that we've created here. And Primadollar, I guess now we're 30, 35 people. Okay. We have a lot of different nationalities. We employ more people in Asia than we do in head office here in London. Growing very, very quickly. We are open account specialists. I'm absolutely delighted to be supporting you and to be supporting World of Account.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's indeed a very interesting model you have developed. It is part of what I see, the whole evolution of the world of open accounts. And I mean that in general, not in terms of our initiative. All the new things that are happening. How do you see, or what do you think or feel are the major trends in the industry in terms of receivables finance, open account finance? And what are the things that are, well, most important to notice for the coming years?
Well, increasingly working capital is an issue in trade finance. So everybody in our industry quotes the famous Asian Development Bank statistic of a working capital gap of $1.7 trillion, which is a totally meaningless number. But we experience this on the ground. So we have, we have offices across India and Bangladesh and Pakistan dealing directly with exporters who face international buyers who want to pay later and who have major working capital issues. And actually, open account is really important for buyers because the ability to receive the goods and manage their own liquidity in their tough markets is an increasing requirement of buyers. And all it's doing is kicking the working capital problem into the factories.
Sure.
And the main problem we see in the factory side is unequal access to finance. So it's very important in all these economies that the medium and small size enterprises have access to funding just like the large companies do. That's where buyers find keener prices and better products. And that's where we get the trickle down in these economies so that wealth is more evenly distributed. And what we're doing on the ground in South Asia is helping small and medium-sized exporters with access to finance so they can service big buyers on the terms that big buyers require.
Exactly. Yeah, because as you said, it's important for the buyers to get open account, but in that case, it's important for the sellers to get money upfront, and that's what you do. Absolutely. Okay, thank you. One last question before I let you go, because you're very busy. I know it's about World of Open Account. You were one of these early adopters, and thank you again for the confidence in this work in progress that is World of Open Account today. So you joined as a founding member. What are your expectations in your ideal world? Where would you like to see this whole World of Open Account project going in the coming years?
Well, we work in markets, export side markets, where the concept of open account is not widely understood. So number one, a very important task is ensuring that what open account is and why people need it and why it's reasonable for buyers to ask exporters to work like this, that is something that is properly communicated into export markets so that exporters learn how to say yes to their buyers
Mm.
when their buyers are asking for open account terms and not treat it as some kind of suspicious trick. That's the first thing. The second thing for us about World of Open Account, it's after education, and it's not education of ourselves, the industry. We all know this stuff. It's education of the trade finance, of the trade market.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is because we need a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because in any industry, we're all more powerful if we group together and speak together. Mm-hmm. And there are important things which go on in the world of open account. Mm-hmm. In terms of not just promoting the concept, but also dealing with the things the governments do that make trade less straightforward and more difficult. That's not just tariffs and things that hit the World Trade Organization. It's more general in terms of how trade flows operate and how financiers can get stuck in the middle. We work in many countries with exchange controls, with very tough regulation around customs and exports. We work in many countries we work in 20 countries now. We work in locations where buyers increasingly want goods to be delivered before even acknowledging an order.
Yep.
Where Incoterms are being tweaked and changed. Lots of detailed things are going on, which impact directly into the funding that we provide and our friends and competitors provide. Mm-hmm. All of this needs representation and debate.
So we have things on our plate. That's wonderful. But thank you again for the confidence. I really look very much forward to working together with you, with your team, as one of the founding and one of the members in this whole World of Open Account project, which it is. And I wish you, of course, all the best. And thanks a lot for your time for this interview.
No, great. It's a real pleasure. Really exciting.
Okay, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.